Ladies, gentlemen, gentle people, gentle gender fluids, undecideds, whoever you are, whatever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, welcome. I don't know what episode this is. I am jet lagged in the Tesco car park. We made it back from New York City. But I hope you are all well, safe, happy, sound, sexy, whatever it is that you want. I hope you are having it, on it, it. You are it. As you can tell, I don't really know where I am. My phone's not working, so I don't know when this is going to come out. Currently doing the post-holiday Tesco collection, which is painful, with a cheeky Costa in my hand. Costa is the pool boy I brought home from America. There we are. We're back in the game. Um, so yeah, we just flew right back this morning. I don't know what time. Tried to have a nap and then ended up sleeping half the day. So I'm going to pay for that tomorrow. It is Sunday as we are speaking. So Monday is going to be hilarious. Let me just have a quick swig of beautiful Costa coffee while two junkies are watching me. You know I can't go without two junkies watching me. So yeah, what's been going on? Well, like it was interesting flying out, like doing a long flight because everything ran on time both ways. It's the short ones that build up and cause a problem, isn't it? So we flew to an airport about an hour and a half outside New York called Bradley International Airport. It's in Hartford, Connecticut. And that might be a cheeky trick if you wanted to go to New York, but you don't want to fly into JFK because it's insane. This is a tiny airport, the size of uh, this. What's the size of? It's the size of Smith's Toy Superstore in Carrick Mines. It's absolutely perfect. So yeah, did all the pre-clearance, yourselves, and then took off. What did I watch on the plane on the way? Well, I'm not a good flyer, so I had to watch something familiar. So I watched The Big Lebowski, just to get me in the mood. Got there, it was great, settled in, and then did the first gig in the New York Stand-Up Comedy Club, which is, I don't know. I think all these gigs I did were on the Upper East Side, whatever that means. Sounds sexy, but yeah, arrived and it's, oh, I gotta go. Hang on one sec. Now, yeah, testing. I think you can hear me now. I have no idea what's happening. Um, there shouldn't be any music here. Now, I'm just gonna keep going here, guys. So, what was I talking about there? Stand up New York. I was talking about where it was, and then I realized I lost you all. So yeah, I was a little boozer in the Upper East Side, kind of Sex in the City country. Um, So yeah, little hole in the wall boozer, and I walked in, couldn't see a venue, and then I saw two furry doors at the back. If I had a penny for every time, and the booker guy turned around and said, "Go through those doors, venues inside, have a seat." I was like, "Cool." So I walked through these furry doors into like a semicircular kind of room, which was very very cool. And then the stage was there, obviously, thankfully. But yeah, it's 100 and whatever. What did I say? 120 people, roughly. I think I counted. Could go in there, and I think on the night it was about 80, 85. Grand, cool. But no, before I got cut off there, and maybe if I didn't get cut off, I'm repeating myself. So I apologize. But I was talking about the other comedians on that first gig, and all the gigs really they were very similar. They all love leaning against the wall. If they're not leaning against the wall, they're standing still. If they're not standing still, they're sitting on a chair. So they kind of see all these comedians on the documentaries kind of leaning against the wall, being cool, sitting in a chair, being earnest. Um, you know. No, I think we're back again. I apologize. Yeah, they're doing that. They were sitting in the chair, being all nice, earnest, and making serious points. But they were all and they're all very good, all brilliant. But they were all talking about the same stuff. So in all three gigs I did, they're all talking about, aside from the drop-ins, like who were grown-ups. No, that's a. I'm jet lagged, so that's my get out of jail free card for this podcast. But anyone who dropped in, there was people who were doing recording Netflix stuff in the same place the next day, and they were going into comic strip the next day for a weekend. So they were doing their kind of well crafted show, whereas some other people were kind of finding their way or whatever. So, but they were all talking about being in therapy. They were all talking about being children of divorce. They're all talking about the medication they're on, the new, well, there's Ritalin and Lexapro. I don't know what that is, but everyone's on it. And then they were talking about, the end of every sentence is, what the fuck? So, yeah, that was interesting. The night in Stand Up New York, I put a clip up of my intro. And my intro is just basically me saying, I'm from Ireland, I'm not a bad bitch. And without context, that makes no sense. But the lady before me was a big, strong woman. But every punchline was, because I'm a bad bitch. And you kind of go, okay. Like the first couple, they're pretty funny. Well put. And then it's only me talking. It means nothing. They're going, oh yeah, that's pretty good, yeah. And then like 15 minutes of I'm a bad bitch. So I went up and I was like, I've been in the room with you. I have to let you know I'm from Ireland. I'm not a bad bitch. I'm an awkward bitch. So it's pretty funny. Got everyone on side. Like they perform their set as best as they can. They don't interact. Like they do some crowd work, but they try and stick to the script. So if something happens in the room, they can't navigate that, which is interesting. Something something we're quite good at over here. Yeah, but that was the first gig. It was very nice way to break the ice. The train was great, but it's an hour and a half out of New York, Grand Central Station. It's an hour and a half out to where I was staying. But yeah, where was the next gig? The next Thursday, this second, I think. It was a mad day. So I spent the morning in the biggest morning show in Connecticut. That's where we were staying, called the Chaz and AJ Show. And randomly got in touch with them when I was there, because the people we were staying with said you should listen to it, you'd like it. So I sent them an email, because I couldn't get any gigs around Connecticut, because they're all like, they don't do kind of, it's only pro shows. And they're like, yeah, grand, but we don't know you, so it'll be a year before we can get you in as a support. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not doing that. And there's a lot of mad comedy clubs there too. So all these were in New York, but these guys are in the middle of Connecticut. Like there's a campus, like a lot of buildings just for radio stations. So it looks like Nakatomi Plaza. And I went in there, met the guys. It was only Chaz, who was very sound, and there was like producers around the building and stuff. I went in there, and initially I thought it was going to be like 10 minutes, something like you do here, but they asked me to sit in for the entire show. So got there 7 o'clock in the morning, which wasn't nice. I brought some Guinness as the Irish cultural ambassador. You got to begosh the whole thing a little bit when you're over there, yourselves. Got in there, sat down. First time I met him was in the studio. We had a chat and all that sort of stuff. 2.5 hours. It was great fun. Lots of nice people adding me on social media from that thing, so you can see what it's supposed to do when you go on radio. You know what I mean? You're supposed to see interactions and spikes and things like that, and it was nice to see. But like, they have hundreds of thousands of listeners, like all around Connecticut. Insane. But it was great fun. Made a lot of friends with them. So I'm going to be kind of calling in from here once a month as their Irish cultural ambassador. So it was great fun. But then from there, so I went home, had a nap, and then went into New York to the comic strip. Again, don't know what part of New York it is. But you walk in, and again, it's a shitty little bar with all the pictures of everyone who's performed there on the walls. It's a bit like a shrunken down comedy store. And then you go through the doors in the back, and you see the stage that you would see online if you're into comedy or whatever it is. You see the documentaries, you see all the people who've been on that stage. Nice full room, was jam packed. It was an early show, 5:30, so I don't know, I guess people just jumped in from work and then got their beer and headed straight in. But yeah, it was great, absolutely fantastic fun. Everything went well. They, a couple of Irish in there as well. Irish everywhere, which is great. Makes our job a lot easier. And yeah, well, I smashed it. And that was full. So I think there's about 200 people in that place. But it's a weird looking place. So it's like the back is dining tables. And then there's kind of the Vicar Street kind of style tables as you come up. So it's hard to tell, but they reckon there's about 200 people in there, which was cool. There was there was some walk in, someone who was in The Sopranos and Sex and the City. I didn't recognize her, but she looked a bit like I see now. I'm jet lagged, and I'm going to say something that's not nice, and I don't mean it that way. I just mean it as a how you can imagine this person. You know the way Madonna looks now. She looked like a little bit of an older version of that. With all due respect to everyone involved in that sentence, just to give you an idea, because you don't see people like that here. You know what I mean? Although I think we'll get there with the lips and all that sort of stuff. But like this was unbelievable. Like you kind of and look, hopefully she's happy and rich and all that sort of stuff. That's great. But well, no, she's not. Her whole set was about her going broke, which was interesting. But yeah, so you get people dropping in all sorts of stuff. But that was great. That was the first gig, 5:30 in the Comedy Strip. Great to have on the CV and have a couple of pictures and recorded the set. So it was great. Um, and then where did we go from there? Oh yeah, we went to St. Mark's Comedy Club after that. Um, check. Pause again. It was St. Mark's Comedy Club, which was I have no idea where in New York it is. Could have been anywhere. Um, and that was another weird purpose-built venue where they have 4 floors of different stages. So on the second floor was the comedy, on the first floor was a yoga retreat. The third floor they were doing this. What's the booze and drawing thing that they do here? And then there's something on the top floor, orgy or something. I don't know. But it was a long rectangular room, and yeah, it was at a funeral. It was performing at a funeral. Um, Again, I wasn't on medication, so I had nothing really to talk to the Americans about. But that was good. Yeah, nice run around the city. New York's brilliant. You know yourself, you know better than me. But back to reality now. Back to Tesco. Just a quick update on how it's been. I don't know how this thing is working, but yeah. Keegolaughs.com for all the upcoming gigs. I'm going to Galway on a mate's stag this weekend, so you'll hear all about that. Hug those you love, tolerate those